Here we go, the final conference. Oh, I had to wake up kind of early. I'm really tired, but I'm awake and I'm here and I'm ready to go for the final conference of E3 2017. Let's go. Super excited. Let's go. Even though I'm groggy, I'm ready. I never do videos this early in the morning, ever. That's a game system I might actually get this year, is the Nintendo Switch or the Wii U. I haven't decided, but I might actually get one of those gaming systems. Maybe. If I find a really good deal, then I'll get it, but I was thinking I was gonna get the Wii U now that the Switch is out. The Wii U price is gonna drop, so... Because you saw in one of my videos that I have a new Wii U game, so I have a game to test out the system. I just need the system now. I like that. That's so cool.
The game is fun. The game is a battle. If it's not fun, why bother? If it's not a battle, where's the fun? It's a test that you pass or a quest that you fail. A race against time. Fun and battle always locked together. But the game is also something else. It's a journey, a passport to new worlds. Maybe even an odyssey. A look, a feel, an exploration. Close your focus and open your mind. Yes, the journey requires the right ticket. And that ticket is Nintendo Switch. But in the end, it's not just where you can take your game. It's where your game can take you. So let's go.
That's pretty, that's a good statement. My brain is trying to catch up.
Story goes that when the world was young, everyone in Allrest lived on the World Tree, together with our Divine Father, the Architect. They called that paradise Elysium. Murrah Blade.
As the driver of the Aegis, can you take me to Elysium?
I'm in. Let's go to Elysium. I'll take you there myself.
Cool.
We'll show you. We'll show you what me and Pyra are made of. Take this! Now that you have come this far, There can be no turning back.
You and that sword can't be! I'm guessing your home is Elysium.
This blade he calls Pyro. Her flames hide something deeper.
What's the matter? Are you the Aegis, or aren't you?
I won't use that power, and I won't let you use it either!
If you know what you desire, you will have to show it. Not with words, but with your own strength. Everyone, let's go!
Nice. I haven't played the first one, but I have heard of it. As in my research, I've heard of a lot of video games.
A sword swinging, fire wielding, stone cold hero with an insatiable appetite.
Kirby. Coffee mug. Just Kirby? Interesting.
Hi everyone, I'm Shinya Takahashi from Nintendo. I hope you've been enjoying the journey with Nintendo Switch so far. When I found out that Nintendo Switch is being accepted by video game fans from all over the world as a home console that could be taken with you anywhere, I felt so relieved. Take Switch outside, come together, and share
I really wanted
the
to pre-order
experience.
it this year,
This idea
but I
was how we
couldn't
hoped
afford
people
it.
would play with Nintendo Switch. That people are coming up with many creative ways to play, in all kinds of places, in many more ways than we expected. This summer, Nintendo and its third-party partners will release many multiplayer games that can be played anytime, anywhere, and with anyone. We hope there will be many heated competitions that will be ignited by Nintendo Switch. Now, we'll continue our look at even more new game worlds for Nintendo Switch. But before we do, there is one announcement we'd like to share from our very special friend. Please take a look.
Hi everyone, I'm Tsunekazu Ishihara from the Pokemon Company. Just the other day, we announced that Pokken Tournament Deluxe is coming to Nintendo Switch. This is the latest version of the premier Pokemon fighting game. Two people can dive right into battle using two Joy-Con controllers, so you can experience heated Pokemon battles with just one Nintendo Switch console. There are some fresh additions, including new Pokemon, and this deluxe version of the game will be on display at E3 for attendees to play. I have one more announcement. Game Freak has begun developing a core RPG Pokemon title on Nintendo Switch. It may not release for more than a year, but we hope you'll look forward to it all the same. In the meantime, let's enjoy this year's E3.
Ishihara-san, thank you very much. We heard that the Pokemon series is being developed for Nintendo Switch. What kind of Pokemon game will we be able to play on Nintendo Switch? I'm looking forward to it myself. At this year's E3, we're mostly showing games that will be released in 2017. But please know that here at Nintendo, we're working on many forms of entertainment that can only be made possible on Nintendo Switch. We hope you look forward to them as well. Now let's continue on with the journey with Nintendo Switch.
Four. Ooh. Metroid Prime 4. Very nice. Yoshi! I like the music a lot. So they're coming out with a Kirby and a Yoshi, just those names. That's kind of interesting. Like, I like that. That's pretty cool. A long, long time ago.
We're under attack! Mother's in danger!
If she's up there, then...
You two must keep going. No, I'm coming with you. I am Marth, the Prince of Altea.
Marth!
We've come here to save you.
Remember that you can rely on your friends. We're with you.
Get it together, you two. If you can't do this, who can?
You fought your way this far. There's nothing you two can't do. No matter the danger, we can overcome it if we're working together.
All right, let's move out.
Working together, we can finish this.
Nice. I gotta play all the Fire Emblems.
Hi there, I'm the Legend of Zelda series producer, Eiji Aonuma. You may have already heard about it during Bethesda's showcase that was held a few days ago. It was announced that select Zelda items will appear in the Nintendo Switch version of Skyrim. I'm really looking forward to exploring Skyrim with the Master Sword in hand. Oh, when did this Master Sword get in my hand? Next up, we'll take a look at the DLC packs for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Let us take you on a new Hyrule adventure.
if I were to get the Nintendo Switch, I would buy this game first. That's for sure. I don't care much for DLC, to be honest. I guess we're gonna have to hear it. My grandma plays the accordion, so I know the sound well. That's so cool! I want my grandma to play this on the accordion. That would be awesome! Can I get the sheet music for her? That would be so cool.
What did you think? I actually have one more announcement that I'd like to share. The 4 champions that appeared in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will be available as amiibo. The Zora champion, Mipha. The Goron champion, Daruk. The Rito champion, Rivali. And the Gerudo champion, Urbosa.
I'm not much for amiibos.
You'll be able to use these 4 amiibo in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Of course, you'll be able to use these in the DLC packs that you just saw, so please look forward to them.
This changes the game. Travel the world. Bring people together. Play anywhere with anyone. If video gaming is a journey, then anywhere has to include a stop right here in LA during E3. This is Magic Week, where booths buzz and channels glow, where the game worlds you've heard about suddenly spring into life. And this summer, a new kind of heated competition ignites right on Nintendo Switch. It kicks off later today with the Splatoon 2 World Inkling Invitational, which brings teams from the Americas, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, and Japan to see whose colorful skills are the best. Tomorrow, the Pokken Invitational will be held. You might recognize some of our 8 competitors who will be duking it out in heated battles. Later on Wednesday, we'll see 8 players throw punches in the fun and competitive game ARMS, which launches later this week. 4 of our players will be pros, and the other 4 will be E3 attendees who rise to the top by battling on the show floor. If you're going to E3, we hope you'll accept the challenge. And no matter where you are, be sure to catch up with Nintendo Treehouse Live at E3 for all the details and news about Nintendo Switch and Nintendo 3DS. But now, there are a few more worlds left to visit on our journey before we land in the booth. Let's go.
Ubisoft is proud to announce his new Rabbids game, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, and it will be developed exclusively for the Nintendo Switch. The Rabbids' crazy personalities and unpredictable behavior will shine as they arrive in a reimagined and twisted Mushroom Kingdom. They will surprise you in this tactical adventure filled with combat and exploration. Mario and his friends will join them in an epic quest to put the kingdom back in order. We can't wait for you to play the game on August 29th.
That's so silly. I like it. Mario Rocket League. Probably from Mario Kart, maybe? The cars look like
On behalf of everyone here at Psyonix, we're extremely excited to announce that Rocket League is indeed coming to Nintendo Switch. We know that both the Rocket League and Switch communities have wanted it, and now we're going to release it, complete with cross-network support that lets you play against opponents on other platforms.
The Switch version will have all the features and modes we've released thus far, plus exclusives like local wireless multiplayer, Mario and Luigi hats for customizing your car, and new exclusive cars we'll talk about later this year.
Look for Rocket League on Nintendo Switch this holiday.
Fireworks? Is that what they were saying? Fireworks or something? I don't know. No idea. That's a little scary.
Here we go, off the rails. But you know it's time to raise our sails. It's freedom like you never knew. Dream flags or a pass. Say the word, I'll be there in a flash. You could say my hat is off to you.
Alright, the music choice.
We can zoom all the way to the moon. This blade wide wacky world. Jump with me, grab coins with me, oh yeah. Time to jump up in the air. Jump up, don't be scared. Jump up and your cares will soar away. And if the dark clouds start to swirl, don't shed a tear, 'cause I'll be your one-up girl. So let's all jump up.
I really like this song. It's so fun sounding. That was fun. I enjoyed that. Sports. Go away. Thank you.
Welcome to Nintendo Treehouse Live at E3 2017. We're back for another year. We've got a lot of great game content to show you and a lot of special guests swinging by as well. But to get things kicked off, we're going to take another look at Super Mario Odyssey. Just saw the video in the spotlight. It's going to be coming out on October 27th, really soon. And we're going to take a look
I don't know
at
about
some gameplay.
soon, but
I'm
yeah.
Sam from the Treehouse, joined by my colleagues from the Treehouse, Rob, and Scott on the end. And we have some very special guests with us for this segment. We've got the game's producer, Koizumi-san, and the game's director, Motokura-san. Thank you both so much for joining us today.
はい。
今日来ていただきありがとうございました。
はい、楽しみにしてました。
Really
よろし
looking
くお願
forward
いし
to
ま
it.
す。
So I know folks are probably really excited to get into gameplay, but before we jump in, there were a lot of really cool reveals in that video, and I think folks are going to be really interested in all the different directions that you're taking this game. But at the core, there's really kind of a driving philosophy that you've got going. I was wondering if you could tell our viewers a little bit more about that.
このゲームの基本的なコンセプトを説明していただけますか。
まず今ビデオを見ていただいてどうでしたか。何か面白かったところはありますか。
First, could I just ask you, was there anything you saw in there that particularly surprised you or interested you?
I gotta say, the first time I saw that T-Rex, my heart stopped. It was so exciting.
はい、よかった
I
で
thought it was
す。
a completely different game.
今回のマリオはテーマが旅になっていて、別の国に行った時の驚きをすごく強調しています。
So we have a theme of going on a journey in this game, but we're also trying to give the player a lot of surprises, and I think the dinosaur is a really big surprise for most.
マリオシリーズってマリオが持っているその分かりやすさであるとか、可愛らしさであるから、誰でも分かるような共感というもので、今まで作ってきて、今もこれも入ってるんですけども、今回は特に旅の驚きっていうことをすごく、盛り込みたいので、驚きというテーマを、体験もそうだし、ビジュアルもそうだし、たくさん詰め込んでます。
But we also want to balance that feeling of surprise with some emotional resonance, giving people something that's familiar, that's attractive, that's really cute from the Mario series, and bounce people back and forth between the familiar and the surprising.
でそれを体験するための新しいプレイシステムを、作りましたので、それは
I like his
説明して
jacket. It bright red. Definitely fits, but it's awesome.
Also, and I'd like to turn to Mr. Matsukura to explain that.
今作は帽子を投げて敵や物を操ってとある地球を冒険するっていう、物語になっています。
So the kind of overall story of this game is, you're going around, you're throwing your hat, you're taking over different enemies and objects, and you're traveling the world while you do that.
そのパワームーンっていうのがイコール驚きになっていますので、それを帽子を投げたりいろんなものを操って箱庭を探索してもらえたらと思います。
And we talked about surprise before, but basically the unit of surprise in this game is those power moves. Those always equal a surprise, so you go around, you throw your hat at different things, you control enemies, and you find things that are surprising, and that gives you a power move.
Right on, so
That's
let's
what
get
those
into some
big
gameplay. Rob,
green
you're gonna take
things
us
were,
into
I
New
think.
Donk City.
I am. First, I'd like to take a quick look at the Odyssey, for which the game is named. It's the ship that Mario uses to travel the world, and it's powered by these power moons, so you keep needing additional thresholds of them to get onto the next kingdom. And just to show off a little bit of the new moves, obviously there's the hat throw. You can make it stay in place, which is sometimes valuable. It can grab things for you. There's two kinds of coins, which we'll talk about a little later on.
And actually, there in that little dialogue box, we saw Cappy.
Oh, yeah. Cappy is both the red hat that he's wearing and also in his native form, he's a white top hat. And so one other move that's pretty cool is this circular throw. Knocks away everything. But let's get down into the city. And as you saw in the trailer, so there's the capture mechanic lets you take over things. It also lets you do fairly exotic things like turn into electricity, travel through wires. So how did the capture mechanic come about?
キャプチャーという仕様を作ったきっかけは何かありましたでしょうか。
そうですね。今作はものすごくいろんな試作っていうものをしてから作っています。
So when we were making this game, what we started out doing was making just a huge amount of different gameplay prototypes.
このキャプチャーというアクションもそのうちの一つです。
And this capture action was just one of those prototypes.
みんなでアイデアを出し合った中に出てきたんですけども、それをそうですね、2、3日ぐらいで作って遊んでみたらものすごく面白かったので、すぐゲームの中心に入れようと決めました。
So, it was just one of the ideas that came up, but we worked on it for 2 or 3 days, and it just instantly turned into something that was really fun, and we decided, well, okay, this should just be the center of this game.
I love how much it encourages that exploration and experimentation that I think the Mario games along these lines are so known for when you think about Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine. Here we've got so much stuff that just looks interesting, and you're wondering, okay, what will happen if I throw my cap at it? You never really know what's going to happen, so you want to try everything just to see.
何でも試してみたくなる仕様ですね。まあどういう要素があると。
そうですね。いろんなものにこう帽子を投げて試してもらえたらなと思ってます。
Yeah, I definitely hope when people, while they're playing this game, they just throw their hat at everything and try all sorts of different things.
Whoops, that was a mistake. Right now, normally, if you were following the story path of the game, you'd be talking to Mayor Pauline, who wants you to recruit musicians. There's one there. But we're going to ignore that right now because there's lots and lots of things to do beyond following the main story of the game. Like possess rockets and turn into rockets with mustaches.
That if you could. Actually, that's an interesting note there. So you mentioned Mayor Pauline, and I think our sharp-eyed viewers will have noticed that some of the street signs are references to some Donkey Kong characters. We've got some interesting red girders going on here. I wonder, Kozumi-san and Monokura-san, if you can tell us a little bit more about this city. It's got some interesting backstory.
やっぱりコリン市長がいて、ニュードンクシティという名前がついてると、もっと何かこの都市について説明していただけますか。
そうですね。名前もそうですし、ドンキーコングのキャラクターで何かのゲームに関係がありそうですけど、今日ちょっと詳しく言えないんですけど。
So certainly you can tell that Pauline is from Donkey Kong, and the name New Donk City probably leads you to a couple of hints, but we can't get into too much of it today.
And I like the shirt you're wearing, by the way.
That is a snazzy
Good choice
shirt.
today.
お楽しみに。
Please look forward to hearing more about that.
I gotta take the long way.
Oh, good luck.
I take the long way.
And this is interesting here where we see, I mean, really throughout New Donk City, and I think throughout the world, we've got these really fun playground elements where you're bouncing on things, you're jumping on things, you're swinging. Can you tell our viewers a little bit more about how you came up with that kind of play mechanic in the game?
ぶら下がったりして、飛び跳ねたりして、いろんな、環境のものに反応させられるんですけど、どういうふうにそういうなんか遊び場っぽい雰囲気を出せるように考え方ありますか。
はい。まずその試作っていうのでものすごくいっぱい遊びを作っています。それをこう配置してステージっていうものを作ります。まず。
So, going back to that prototyping process I was talking about before, we obviously create lots and lots of different ones, lots of different game ideas. And then next what we think about is where to place them within the stage.
そこにそのアートであるとか具体的なものを載せて遊んでみます。
So, we put it in the stage, we combine it with different art assets, kind of real things to see what it might actually look like or work in game, and then try playing it.
そうするともっとこうしたいとかいろんな意見が出てくるので、それをさらにそこに上乗せして作っています。
And then, obviously out of that, different things come up, oh, maybe we could do this a little bit differently, maybe this could actually work like this instead, and then we kind of add that to it, and the process just continues from there.
で先ほどちょっと出たタクシーなんかをジャンプさせるのもスーパーマリオサンシャインでもちょっと似たような仕様があったので、そういうところからちょっとヒントを得ています。
And so, you saw before, we were able to jump on top of the taxi, and that's something that was sort of in Super Mario Sunshine at times. So in that way, we're also getting hints from past games.
Can I quickly interject that so as I mentioned, the goal right now is to recruit these musicians. When I was first playing this game for a feedback report for the development team, I could not figure out how to get to this guy on the top of this building. You can just barely see him. He's a speck right now in that triangular building. And the way I eventually found to do it was to take a really long fall. And that worked.
Oh, I feel
and
like frisbees.
a bit to my surprise. And I wanted to know, when you saw that report from me, what was that a problem to be solved? Was that a cool thing? What was that?
このねはNCR の報告書を書いていくときに、こういうふうに
Maybe no one could really hear me.
よと書いてましたが、それを見てちょっと困っていったんでしょうか。
はい、それは読んだんですけれども、今日ここでプレイするとは思わなかったです。
Yeah, I did read that. I didn't know you were going to be playing that right now.
Troublemaker.
でもこう、
I also know the real way. or another way.
本当のやり方も分かってます。
でも自分でこういろんなプレイの仕方を探してもらえたらと思うんですけども、それもスーパーマリオ64やスーパーマリオサンシャインから続くものだと思います。
But you know, you found your own way to play it, and like letting users play around with the game and find their own ways of doing things. That's something that goes way back in 3D Mario. Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine as well.
That's the other way.
So this is actually one of the two kingdoms that's going to be playable on the show floor. The show floor, of course, isn't open yet, so we don't have folks playing the game at this moment, but I'm really looking forward to talking to folks after they've played it, because I think there's so many different ways to problem solve and find moons in these kingdoms. I'm not even sure if folks will find everything over the course of the show, but it's going to be interesting to find out how different people approached completing some of these objectives.
But the game encourages so much experimentation because you aren't kicked out of the level every time you find a moon. There is no reason not to investigate every little thing you can see that might be interesting. There's no time limit. There's no disincentive. There's lots and lots of cool stuff.
Oh.
Whoa! Okay.
Yeah, it is a very interesting change that adds, I think, to the immersion in the kingdoms. When you think about Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, whenever you got whatever the collectible objective was, depending on the game you were playing, you get bumped out of the area and you'd have to come back in. But here, since you're not going to get booted out of the kingdom when you collect a power moon, there's a lot of encouragement to just go check out that weird thing you saw on the horizon, because you can still continue with whatever your primary objective is. Oh no! But then, keep on tracking and finding moons.
Another reason to explore everything is that there's very little punishment for dying. I just lost 10 coins, and there's lots. So, and I get to try again right away.
Well, you showed the death, so there you go.
It's also worth mentioning that the bullet bills here are coming out with visors on, so they cannot be captured until you knock their hats off, because an enemy with a hat is the scariest thing in this game.
Fashion is very important in this game. You gotta be conscious of your headwear.
Well, apparently this is not my day for this challenge.
That's right, 3 times a charm, right?
Yeah.
But the 333 coins.
And if at first you don't succeed, give up on the 3rd attempt.
That's funny.
I'm just looking at the space where we saw other sections of New Dog City, and looking here, I'm just so impressed with the texture work that's been done. I feel like every time I see me build this game, more and more of these textures are just jumping out at me. It's really fun to see in person.
It is a gorgeous game, and we have some other segments later on in the stream that are going to highlight some especially pretty areas.
Oh, you got this. Yeah. And well, I'm keeping my fingers and toes crossed. Yes.
Thank you.
One thing that we haven't mentioned yet, that we probably should talk a little bit about, is the fact that you're playing with Joy-Con with the wrist straps attached.
Yes.
And that's a really fantastic way to play this game. It, of course, supports Pro Controller and other controller options, but you can do so much with the motion controls, and throwing Cappy feels very intuitive.
Yeah. I'm going to switch to a different section of the game where I show the sand world, which is also playable on the show floor. So give me just a moment.
Oh, no worries. But I do love that as you're experimenting, and I think we'll see folks doing that on the show floor here, so many of your gestures will affect how Cappy moves, that while you're holding the Joy-Con with the wrist straps attached, you really want to just try moving your hands
Super Mario Odyssey!
Down or out. But I was really impressed by how well that implementation was put into play. Here we are.
Yeah.
Oh, this place is so pretty.
So here we're in the Sand Kingdom, in the town of Tostarena. And they have a problem now because it's all frozen. Everything is cold for reasons, of course, that Mario will eventually solve.
Yeah, actually, if you hang still for a second, we can show his little idle animation when he's cold.
Oh, yeah.
Really cute.
Oh, he's cold.
I love the locals here, too.
Yeah, I think he's distracted by the local dancing around, but I think if he's by himself, then he really shivers.
Oh, poor Mario.
Yeah. So let's see here. One thing I did want to show off is, so as we mentioned, there's 2 kinds of coins in this game. And for I believe the first time in the mainline Mario series, you can actually buy things with your coins. And I wanted to ask the developers how that came up, that currency should be worth currency.
なんでコインで買い物できるようにしたいと思ったんでしょうか。
はい。今回はコインを本当にお金として扱おうと思いました。
So we wanted, coins to be used as coins in this game. Actually, use them as money.
外国に行った時にその国のお
that
金
would
っ
make
て
sense.
すごいなんか印象に残ってないですか。
And I think you'll agree. If you go to a foreign land, one of the things that makes the biggest impression on you is the currency.
これ使えるのとか思ったりしたんですか。
you know, you kind of look at it and you think, wait, is this real? Can I use this?
今回はマリオもいろんな国を旅しますので、その国その国のコインというものを用意しています。
And since, you know, Mario is going around to all these different kingdoms in this game, we wanted to make sure that there was a currency for each one.
要素はコレクトするコインの要素になっていますので、集めたものでコスチュームを変えたり、お土産を買うことができます。
And you know, they're collectible items, so you can use them
Crazy
to
cat.
buy different outfits or buy souvenirs.
お土産買うの楽しいです。
Yeah, and it's always fun to buy souvenirs, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of shopping, we are now in Crazy Cap.
So there's two kinds of coins as we mentioned. The purple ones are unique to the local kingdom. The yellow ones can be used in any shop. I'm going to buy, because the guy at the door said maybe I should, I'm not living up to their dress code, maybe I should buy some clothes to fit in better. I'm going to buy a local sombrero and poncho. And wait till you see how adorable Mario looks.
Being adorable, I just love the shopkeeper.
Yeah, and their huge stack of hats.
He's so cute.
And you can see some of the souvenirs you can buy there that you can use to decorate the inside of the ship.
Nice.
And now I'm rocking this look.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Let's go try that door again.
Not unique because many games have done it, but
So
with
my
Mario,
capabilities are the same.
it's
You know,
very
I
unique.
still have, it's still Cappy, even though he's turned into a different kind of hat now.
Sombrero.
He can turn into any kind of headwear apparently. Exotic superpower. And all right, so I go over and talk to this guy.
Let's see if you meet the expectations now. Ooh, snappy and lively.
Snappy and lively. I think the hat is the one and the poncho is the other. All right. And this is, of course, what the goal I was working toward all this time.
I love all these little moments of surprise where you never really know what's going to happen when you
Why did
get
I want
into
to get
these
in this room?
spaces.
I don't know. I wanted to get in this room so I could play a guitar.
You want to get in because it's locked.
Yeah, exactly. So then we're going to move on to some more traditional 3D Mario gameplay over this direction.
Now that you are terribly well dressed, it's time to go do some exploring.
Yeah. And Bowser's footprints, I must be on the right track. So notice that while using the motion controls, I can actually use the little homing function on the hat more easily. It is possible with the button controls only, but it's much more difficult.
All right, the classic Goomba.
Yeah. And
Goomba.
let's just do a big one for that. And
Well, that's, I guess, something folks are probably noticing here. So you're not capturing those Goomba. It's not every single enemy that's capturable.
That's true.
You've got to find the special ones.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's having a good eye and just experimenting a lot with your cap.
I think they're a shade bigger, the ones you can capture, but I'm not positive on that. So bullet bills, of course, are useful because you can fly with them. And now I've got to very quickly capture my ride back.
And with bullet bills, you can only capture them for a limited amount of time because at some point they're just going to blow up.
Yeah.
So you have to be a little mindful of what you're doing.
Yeah, you only
when
get
you've
so
got a
much
bullet
time
bill.
with the explosive guys. All right, and then almost to one of my favorite bits in this level.
Oh yeah, the next bit you're coming up to
Yeah.
blew my mind the first time I saw it.
So this place has these murals that look like they're decorated in this cool old school aesthetic, and I'm just gonna go right on in.
Oh!
And I've still got my costume.
Oh, that's so cool!
I think we definitely need to hear a little bit more background about why you added this into the game because it's so cool, but it's so unexpected as well, I think.
なんでこのような 2D の8ビットマリオのところも入れたいと思ったんでしょうか。
3D の部分は気持ちよ
that's
く
cool.
探索できるように比較的おおらかに作っています。
So we wanted to make something that would be, you know, sort of a contrast with the 3D stages that you're able to explore very
That was
freely.
cool.
2D の部分はもう少し細かく緊張感のある
It gave me goosebumps. That was
You know,
cool.
the 2D spaces are kind of more confined. They're more precise. You know, it's more like kind of, you know, sort of traditional platforming elements.
同じステージの中でもそういった違った遊びっていうのを入れたかった。
But
And the
also
music
within the 2D
changes too.
stages, as you can see, we wanted to have a lot of different variety.
もちろんこう昔からのゲームが好きな人にも楽しんでもらえるビジュアルになっていると。
And of course, you know, with the visuals, we're hoping it's something, you know, the people who enjoyed kind of those classic nostalgic games also get a kick out of as well.
So one thing I'd love to show off when we're getting out toward the end of this space is just how much the music changes when we're transitioning back and forth. Because I know we've been chatting, maybe it's hard for some folks to hear what's been going on here, but if we just pop in and out of that warp pipe, it's a pretty impressive transition when the music changes.
But there's no warp pipe up here.
Just don't jump off. No.
Yeah.
No,
But you
don't
can
go.
now see that it's more of a naturalistic instrument. So I'm going to skip ahead and show off the last part of this scenario. Okay, so for that, I will need these. Wrist straps, people. Always wrist straps.
Yes. I'll have to jump in.
Okay.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning too that we're only covering a tiny bit of what is in this kingdom. There's so much more to do and explore.
There's just a ridiculous amount. All right, so here we are. This is much later in the level. I'm still got my snappy outfit though, and watch these bullet bills transition out of the 2D, and then I'm going to use one to
that's interesting.
break open this wall.
So another thing that's really handy about the bullet bills is capture target. You'll see here when you're trying to target for really precision flying, it's got a little bit of a headlamp. Oh no, no,
I'm doomed.
That's okay. But it's got a little bit of a headlamp, so you can kind of use
See
that
where
to
you're
line
pointing,
yourself
yeah.
up.
It's super handy.
That's okay, because you get to see this cute little 2D to 3D transitioning in with the bills.
It's so cool. All right.
All right, you got this.
All right, here we go.
Watch the pros play, right?
And with bullet bills, you can also give yourself little speed bursts as well. Shaking the Joy-Con will let you go a little bit further. So it's worth experimenting once you get a feel for the timing of how long a bullet bill will last.
It's kind of like driving a car that doesn't have any brake pedal. You can go faster, you can steer, but that's all you can do. And all right, so up here we're about to confront one of the Brutals, and folks may have seen them in our original teaser trailer for this game. They are an evil wedding planning firm, and I'd love to hear more from the developers about how they came to be and what your favorite Brutal is.
ブライダルっていう団体がその結婚を企画してるグループらしいですけど、なんか一番気に入りのブライダルは誰かいますか？
そうですね、彼らはクッパに、雇われてクッパの結婚式を成功させようとしています。
So they've, you know, as you kind of said, they've been employed by Bowser. They're in charge of making sure his wedding goes off without a hitch.
なので結構仕事をきっちりするタイプですね。
They're very serious about their work.
Their work ethic is admirable.
なので真ん中にいるちょっと背の低い同じような帽子をかぶったようなキャラクターがいるんですけれども、それがリーダーなので僕はそのトッパーというキャラクターがお気に入りです。
And you know, my favorite is Topper, the kind of shorter one who has that green top hat.
Yeah, guy in green. Yeah.
Yeah, Topper.
How about you, Kozumi-san? Do you have a favorite?
小泉さんもクリーンのカラー。あ、そうですね。ちょうど今出てるのハリエットっていうその可愛いウサギさんの、
Made a star.
なんか可愛い香りしてるのに結構凶暴なんでそのコントラストがすごい面白いなと。
That's really good timing because the character I like the most is the one you're fighting right now, Harriet. She has this great contrast between her cute appearance and like how devilish she is. She's sort of like the tricky little sister of the group here.
Her attacks are really fun to watch as well, especially when she starts flying around.
And it's worth mentioning, you fight each of the Brutals a few times, but their tactics get more and more intense and dangerous.
But I'll be honest, having planned a wedding last year, I would take the help of evil wedding planner.
Yeah, I mean, any evil help is better than no help.
And they're very dedicated to their work.
And they're willing to fight your enemies for you, and that's pretty great.
Oh, nice.
There we go.
Squashed.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Sorry, Harriet.
Now she'll be back. All right, so that's a grand moon worth 3 power moons.
And there we see Cappy in his natural state as well.
There he is, celebrating with Mario. Nice. All right, so that's what we have for gameplay for right now. But we did have one more little feature, I believe.
Yes, we've got some new goodies that have turned up here on stage with us. So these are the amiibo for the game. We've got Princess Peach, Bowser, and Mario in their wedding outfits. And I just need to ask you guys about the development process for these, because the detail of the sculpting is incredible. It must have been a very interesting process getting these to the state they're in here.
このアミーバはすごいなんか細かい作り方になっているようですが、それについてちょっと説明していただけますか。
はい、ヒロインであるピーチ姫をより可愛く魅力的に作っています。
So first of all, we've got our heroine Peach, and we wanted to make sure that she just looked, absolutely stunning.
あとクッパとマリオもそのお相手であることに十分なビジュアルとしてデザインしています。
And then from there, we have Mario and Bowser as well. And we have to make sure that in terms of visuals, they weren't going to lose out.
They got to keep up.
Yeah, they got to keep up. Yeah.
あとこのポージングっていうのも今回のテーマに合わせて物語性を持たせているのが特徴になっています。
And another characteristic of these is that the posing is very kind of directly linked with the story and what's going to be happening in the game.
Yeah, Mario's got kind of a humble bow thing going, and Bowser's kind of looking like, I own the world.
And I think Bowser looks pretty dapper here, though.
Yeah.
But it is really amazing. I don't know how close we can get the camera here. We got a better look here, but in person, the texture, where some of them have almost like a pearlized kind of texture, and there's a lot of subtlety with the different kinds of fabric. You can really see a lot of nuance for these amiibo. I'm really looking forward to people seeing them in person.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
And I wonder, at this point, is there
I'm
anything
not,
you'd like to share about the functionality of
I don't collect amiibos. I collect video games, so it's cool, but
ですね。
not I'm interested.
アミーボはコスチュームを手に入れることができたり、あとはゲームの中でのお助け機能として活用することができます。
So you'll be able to use the amiibo to get different costumes within the game, and then they'll also have kind of an assist function.
And we do have existing amiibo that are supported as well. I think we'll be talking more about that at a later point. But I think that's all we're allowed to show for right now, unfortunately.
Right now. We'll be showing more of this game later on
Yes,
in
we'll
the
definitely do
stream,
that.
of course.
But Motokura-san and Koizumi-san, thank you again so much for joining us here and sharing some of the insight about the development process of the game.
今日来ていただきありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And folks who are watching, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be back in a few seconds here with our next segment, so please don't go anywhere.
That was really cool, like, oh, that was kind of awesome. I've got to get my butt in gear and do all the Mario games before this one comes out. That's for sure. Because that was so fun. That was crazy fun.
Here we go, off the rails. Did you know it's time to raise our sails? It's freedom like we never knew.
I wish I was there, though. Man, I wish I was there. I wanted to go so bad. But alas, this is for people who... not like me. Future. My plan is to go to an E3. The entire conference. By the time I die. It's not a very happy thing, but you know. Well, that was interesting for 1 second. PlayStation 4. We're in Nintendo World here. I think it's over. Because I mean, there's 6 more minutes until it's completely over. So I wonder if there's anything more that they're gonna show. I would assume not. But I don't want to kick it over the fence or whatever if it's not done yet. Well, I'm gonna assume the conference is pretty much over. So if I see something on my screen, I'll jump back into it. But I think it's pretty much over. So that was pretty cool. I wore red to show Mario, even though it's Coca-Cola. I want to play the Odyssey. It looks so fun, and the fact that it goes into 2D from 3D and back, it's just like, oh my gosh, it gave me so much goosebumps. But to like use the hat, that's definitely a new feature. At first I was like, well, maybe they put this in a different game that I just don't know about because I haven't played Mario. No, it's a completely new feature, so that was pretty cool. And all the other games look pretty cool. Nintendo's known for being like cartoony, I guess. At least that's how I interpret Nintendo being. They don't play like the graphics or any of that. They play the play style, and they play a bunch of cartoon stuff. But the Kirby and the Yoshi games, those look fun. Especially the Yoshi one, how it, like, you look at this side and then you look at this side and it's the same stage. Like, that's a pretty clever idea. I think I've seen it in a few games. Or games where you turn it 90 degrees, another 90 degrees, another 90 degrees kind of thing. So it looks pretty cool. My thoughts on the whole entire conference, well, or the entirety of the week. Again, if you want me to show the Microsoft conference in my reaction video, I will have to re-upload it with content deleted because of copyright issues. And I would be willing to do that if you guys wanted me to. Just comment below saying, hey, where's the Microsoft reaction video, and I will post it. I will keep up this video up on my computer until the next E3, so you have a year to comment whether or not you want to see my reaction to the Microsoft conference. But other than that, the rest of these are uploaded, and hopefully this one will not be a problem because this is my reaction video kind of thing. The conference overall was pretty good. I think the weakest one was Bethesda, but that's just my personal opinion. I think the next one was Sony because it's just get your audio right? Like, I don't know if it was Twitch, I don't know if it was the actual conference itself, but it was something to do with the audio issues, and I apologize profusely for that. I couldn't even hear anything, so we're in the same boat here. Everybody in the world was commenting that they couldn't hear, so the only people who know exactly what happened in the first two trailers at the Sony conference were people who were live at the place, at the venue. But there's a lot of games coming out. There's a lot of games coming out, and it's super fantastic. Like, I can't... It's exciting. Like, there's so many games that are coming out. I admit, I was really disappointed The Last of Us 2 is not done. And how they did the Uncharted DLC before, or whatever it was, the first trailer, because I couldn't really see it because the audio was gone. I don't know exactly what it was, but I think it was like DLC or something, or like a prequel story or something like that. How they put that as the primary focus. I'm like, man, you know, people have been waiting for The Last of Us 2 for years. I know I have. As soon as I played the 2013 version, I'm like, okay, when's the next one? And that was at a time where the director's like, oh, I'm not going to make a sequel, it's just going to be the first game, and that's it. And I'm like, man. And then when they finally announced The Last of Us 2, it's like, come on, don't tease us like that. But I guess that's the point. More anticipation for next year's E3, maybe. Hopefully. Because by that time I should own the PlayStation 4 Pro, maybe, possibly. So I'm looking at the video. They're just doing the treehouse, more treehouse stuff, so you wanted to check that out. I mean, this video's gonna be uploaded hours later, but but I think the best conference I liked was it's probably the conference that the video wouldn't be uploaded, is the Xbox conference or the Microsoft conference. I like their conference the most. Not only because everything was green, but a big chunk of it was to deal with just the presentation. I thought the presentation was spectacular. How they mixed in, like, games that were anticipated mixed in with games that are like indie titled and whatnot. Although the EA game A Way Out really caught my attention. I really want to play that game. That game looks super fun. And the Sony conference had Days Gone, which reminded me of The Last of Us in a lighter tone, I guess. I don't know. Faster tone, definitely, because the zombies or whatever, the cannibals or whatever, were like so much faster moving. But there's just a lot of good games coming out, and I'm excited to start collecting them, even if it'll take me 5 years later. I'll finally get one of these games that were on the C3 list. But I do plan on getting a Nintendo Switch or a Wii U next, because I want another console. I haven't bought a console since I bought my PSP and a new PlayStation 3, since my previous PlayStation 3 stopped reading discs. So if you guys want a PlayStation 3, you can have a PlayStation 3. It's not the slim it's the version number 2. I'm pretty certain digital games work. I just don't have a PlayStation Online account, so I can't test it. But it doesn't read discs. It's only digital. So if you wanted a PS3, let me know, because I can sell you one. But I kind of want to keep it anyways, even until I get another version of that same console, because I just want to own every console, every version there is. So I already have a PS2 thick and a PS2 slim, and that's the only console that I have double of. And I count my fat PS2 as my PS1 at the present time, because I just count it as that as a present time. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm starving because I woke up, literally went to this conference, and I haven't eaten anything, so I'm like so hungry right now. So I'm gonna go eat some food. Thank you so much for joining me on this roller coaster ride of emotions, whether it's chills, happiness, sadness, disappointment, craziness, awesomeness of E3 Conference 2017. Next year I might do some more commentary, not just on the conferences, but like maybe watching a few events that go on. I might look at a schedule and be like, okay, let's watch. I'm gonna watch this part, like a gameplay video, like kind of like what the Nintendo was doing a Treehouse thing. Like I might do that next year, who knows? But for right now, this year I was just going to do the press conferences and be good to go with those. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. Please like if you liked it, comment if you so desire, and subscribe if you have not already. I will be getting into streams. I will not be streaming the rest of today, but I will stream starting back on Thursday at 2 o'clock. So be sure to check me out at 2 p.m. LJgreentigers on Twitch. I don't know what I'm going to be playing, but I will be playing soon. And until next time, happy viewing to other channels and other content, and I will see you in the next time. See you later!